You've had a few days to chew over the result midweek. If you change your thoughts in any way?
On?
Just on the performance and on the night?
No, I thought we played well. I thought we deserved the win. And I thought we didn't have the luck, if you want to call it that. You know, certainly there were long spells of dominance, and we had good chances. Hit the bar, had a perfectly good goal disallowed. So, you know, things didn't go for us on the night. Not overly disappointed with the performance at all, because I felt we'd done more than enough to win the game.
Afterwards you come out and said there's a few players you know that are looking to get away. Do you have regrets about letting that be known public?
Not really. I don't want to elaborate on it, but we want them all here. We've got a big year ahead of us, and this is a difficult time of the year, as you know. People are unsettled, but we want them all to settle down, you know, and do what's best for the club, and that means winning the league and trying to make the best of what's left of the European campaign.
Have you addressed the squad?
No.
Not yet.
No.
Will you speak to the squad about this harmony and continuing?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's a tight-knit group, and we have a big year ahead of us. You know, and it's really, really important. We suffered a blow. One of our objectives is gone, but we've got plenty of other objectives going forward, and I want them all here focused on that.
In terms of the players who have indicated they may want to leave, are you happy with them playing again for Celtic this season if they're indicated they don't want to be here?
Yeah, absolutely. We want them to settle down. We want them just to do what they do best. They're great lads. I understand that, you know, sometimes there can be interest, but this is a great club. You know, we want harmony, and I'm not saying there's been any agitation at all, but sometimes you can lose a little bit of focus. We just want them to get back on it and concentrate on the job that lies ahead. So I've said what I said after the game. I don't need to elaborate on it anymore.
Some supporters, Neil, I think, were quite happy that you were so open after the game, but on the flip side, don't understand why you would maybe keep them involved if they said that they would rather be elsewhere. Do you understand that view from their side of things?
Yeah, but you know, at the end of the day, they're good players, and once they realise that what excitement and what we have in store this season, hopefully that'll persuade them to knuckle down now and really concentrate on the job at hand.
Do you have to be more pragmatic as well and say, well, it's the greater good if they're good players, I should use them while we're paying them, even if they are disgruntled at the moment?
I wouldn't say disgruntled, but you know, sometimes you worry that, you know, it can affect the mindset. I've been in that position before as a player, and I just want it all sort of settled down now. And you know, we've had a blow, and that's what it is. You know, it's a blow. One of our priorities was to, you know, make inroads in the Champions League. It wasn't by any means due down to a bad performance. Well, let's get that clear. The performance, you know, if you look at in the collated day again, and I do waffle on about stats and this, that and the others, and if you look at the stats and the performance, we dominated. We got caught cold with a, you know, bad goal from our point of view, but the majority of the game, I thought the attitude and the intensity and the tempo that we played at was very, very good. So it's one that's got away from us, and it's a sore one.
It's one of the problems you've got coming up, the fact the transfer window drags on for so long now, while the season goes on. It's a long period for players to be unsettled or become unsettled.
Well, I can't do nothing about the length of the transfer window. What I can do is, you know, settle them down, make them concentrate, keep them here. We want them here. We've made that pretty clear, and we want to move forward. We've got a big game on Sunday. We've got a big sort of league campaign ahead of us. We've got trophies to defend domestically, and we still have European football, which we want to maximise.
Does the lack of Champions League football impact on Odson's situation at all? Is this something you maybe speak to him about?
Well, why would you bring up Odson?
Because he's just a star player. Just in the fact that if I was at club watching out, he'd be the one I'd be interested in.
Well, I'm not going to talk about individual players. I mean, you know, we desperately want to keep Odson for the 10, or for going for the 10, so, you know, I think it's unfair to single out him.
Will he be available for Sunday, or is he still injured?
No, he won't be available for Sunday.
Do you have a sort of time scale on his recovery?
Well, it's international break, you know, so I'd imagine I'm pretty confident he'll be fit for the Ross County game after the international break.
In terms of the, you said that this harmony maybe been bugging you for a while. Is it something that is previously that you've seen has affected performances on the field at all, or has affected you in terms of you selecting a team for a game?
No, not really. But I do know from I've played the game. I've gone through that sort of. You do lose a little bit of concentration sometimes, and that's all it is. So I want them to refocus now. I'm not saying that had any effect on the performance the other night, because it didn't. And I'm not saying there's any disharmony within the group as well. But what I want is players who are with us and want to really be successful again this year. And that's it.
A couple of players that potentially representatives of them had come to the club and asked for valuations that potential moves away. Is that something you're aware of?
No, not at all, no.
Neil, how's the morale of the squad? How have they reacted to it?
Well, they were flat yesterday, as you can imagine, so, what you do is you just give them a day, and then we'll get back on it. We'll speak to them this morning, see how they all are, and then, prepare as best we can for the Motherwell game and go out there and put on a good performance. Like I said, I was, in essence, really pleased with the performance, but the result at the end of the day is not what we all wanted.
One of the traits of this Celtic team, your Celtic team, over the last few seasons has been when there are bad results in Europe, when you get knocked out of the Champions League or Europa League, they seem to just bounce back domestically.
Yes.
How do you do that?
Well, they've got a great mentality, and they've got great experience, and we don't get sort of too high or too low. Too high when things are going well, too low when things don't go so well. We try and keep a balance on it, and we've got a big game. I think the best thing they can do is get back out there and play. Now, that's always the case if you've had a really bad performance. What we've had is a bad result. The actual performance was pretty decent. We've hit the bar, we've had umpteen chances against a decent side. So we weren't a million miles away from actually overcoming the tie and looking ahead. People will say, your team selection. Well, I thought we had a really strong team out. It actually panned out that way. Ryan played centre forward. Ryan scored. He scored the goal. Elyounoussi had good chances, and Chan played really well. And I thought we forced the issue for long periods. And their goal came from a tackle clearance, that we just didn't deal with. And we'll have regrets about it, but that happens. It's very early in the season. I don't think we've hit top form as yet, but in the main, I was pretty pleased with the performance.
You mentioned you're still looking to recruit a couple of players. What does the result midweek do to your budget or to your
Nothing.
targets?
And we've brought in David Turnbull, so I'm absolutely delighted about that. I've got a brilliant young Scottish talent who, we wanted him this time last year. He's overcome, a lot of obstacles, and that speaks volume for his character. And I think he's a top player, and we want him to flourish here.
Does the player deserve this as well? Because he's had to show some real mental strength.
Yeah, I think he's done brilliantly. And, looking at him in the last few games, he's got a touch of class about him, and he's a very good finisher from midfield as well, which, is a rarity in the modern game.
How important is it for you to have a Scottish element within your squad as well? There is now a real Scot, there was, but it's adding to that Scottish squad of players that you have here.
I think that's always good. I think David coming in will know the values of the club, and he'll know what it means to support, and he'll know what it means to, the Scottish game, and then coming here, it's exciting for him, it's a challenge for him, and I think it's one that he's really looking forward to.
Just to clarify, so you are still able to go for the targets that you were going
Yes.
for before, and you're still confident of getting them?
Yes.
Just going back to the game at the weekend, did you see Motherwell's match last night?
Not yet, no.
What do you expect from them, obviously?
I don't know, it's been a bit sort of stop-start for them, like in terms of consistency. So, I watched them against Ross County early on in the season. They were unlucky not to get something there. But Stephen has to sort of keep evolving his team. He loses, a player here and there every season. He's lost another one, obviously, now to us. But, he seems to find, little nuggets. Did a brilliant season last year, up until the pandemic stopped it. So I think it'll be a, tough game. I think he's got some exuberance, some energy in the team. And It's a game though that we obviously want to get back on track after, the defeat, and get back to winning ways as soon as possible.
Will Turnbull be in the squad?
Yes.
Any other injuries? Sorry, obviously Odson's not going to make it.
Near Beaton's got a bit of a groin injury. Tom Rodgick's still out, but we're hoping will train tomorrow. Mikey Johnson's still recovering from surgery, and Balangoli's unavailable as well.
What's the latest with Griffiths?
He's unavailable. He's still rehabbing from his calf injury.
Volleyball goalie will find out today his SFA charge. Will it make a difference in terms of his Celtic future, whether he's banned or not?
I don't know. I can't comment on that. There'll be the SFA one, and then we'll have our own sort of in-house disciplinary, and we'll take it from there.
We need to get it cleared up as soon as possible.
Yeah, it'd be ideal. Yeah, it's sort of dragged on a little bit now.
Has he been integrated back into the squad yet?
No, not yet. No. So we'll have to, obviously look at that and see when and if he can come back in.